Hey guys, welcome back to the English Gentleman Gamer with me, Roscoe. Thanks for joining me for my quick 5-minute review of Super Street Fighter 2. Now, I'm more specifically referring to Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, which is the game I owned and played. This is actually footage of Super Street Fighter 2, the New Challengers, I think it's called. As you're going to call it now, Super Street Fighter 2, the New Challengers. Yeah. Now, I think this is the one with. It's definitely got Cammy in it because I'll fight her in a minute. I think it's got T-Hawk was another one that springs to mind. I don't know if it means you can also select the baddies from the beginning. I know you could on Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo at some point. I also recently played Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix on the PlayStation Network thing. I got it free when I got my PlayStation Plus membership about 18 months ago. I played it twice, got me backside handed to me on a plate, because I'll get my prejudice out of the way straight away. I'm rubbish at this game, so I hate it. No, I mean I really do hate this game. I managed to smash 3 joypads playing this when I got it the first time round on the Super Nintendo. I got that frustrated and annoyed and angry with it that I smashed things basically. I've never done it for any other game, and this is the reason why I don't play fighting games. I did also play the Mortal Kombats of the world, and I also quite liked Killer Instinct. More because I could actually do that one. Games like this and Tekken and Virtua Fighter that required timing and skill and memorising attack patterns, defences and blocking, I've always been rubbish at. I've always felt better at driving, racing games, whatever you want to call them, and shooting games, whether it's your third-person shooters or your side-scrolling shooters or whatever. Anyway, I don't like this game personally. I'm rubbish at it. No matter what I play, what format, what console, what game, I'm generally quite rubbish. But anyway, on to the review. Graphics wise, I think Capcom are to be applauded. They did very well with fairly aging hardware by the time this one came out. Certainly by Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, when that came out, it looked, it's very bright. The characters are very well animated. They, as far as I can remember, look and play exactly like it did on the arcade, which was no mean feat for a machine with the limited abilities of a Super Nintendo. The backgrounds are as animated as they can possibly do. They look like they move, but they don't. What I mean is they scroll, but the backgrounds don't, for the most part, change. I mean, there's the Northern Lights there in the background. There's a little crow. I presume it's supposed to be Northern England or North Britain somewhere. But anyway, yeah, the graphics are great. I think for the Super Nintendo, everything moves quickly and works as it should. It looks pretty close to the arcade from what I remember. Music wise and sound wise, the effects are the effects: punches, kicks, grunts, groans. There's me beating Cammy. Gameplay, music wise, yeah, sorry, it's plinky plonky Japanese tunes and some reasonable effects. There's nothing. It's not a secret of Mana or Final Fantasy where the music can really make much of a difference, to be honest. Gameplay wise, now, for me personally, I find it very frustrating because I'm not very good at fighting games. But from what I understand, having read magazines and interviews with people who play this game a lot, it's supposed to be fairly on the ball. Very, as long as you have a decent joystick, then I'm told it's pretty much arcade perfect. The timing and the moves and everything are all there as they were in the arcade, and it just works basically. It's one of those games where you hit punch and he punches, you defend and he defends, and it's all down to timing. So, Capcom are again to be applauded for bringing everything from the arcade into this game. Replay value, definitely got to score high for replay value because there are, 16 characters to choose from. So there's seven difficulty settings and 14 characters. So there's plenty to do. Obviously, there's a 2-player mode, so you're never going to get bored playing your friends. Frustrated maybe, but never bored. There's a lot to do then in this game. Obviously, there's all them characters to play through. There's different level settings. There's different special moves to unlock or try out and practice. It's endless, basically. If you're a fan of fighting games and 2D fighting games like Super Street Fighter 2, then it can't be bettered. And there's a lot of fun to be had. Now, it did get a new lease of life, if you will, coming out with a multiplayer mode like the Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD remix that I had on the PSN did have an online mode. I wasn't very good at it, but it worked very well. You know, I was in a match within a few seconds, and I was scrapping away. Again, it adds another bit of longevity to a game that, you know, we've known it in various guises for like 20 odd years, but it never gets boring really. The other thing I wanted to say about this game, nothing to do with the review, but it's a sort of little story, if you will. This is the first Super Nintendo game I tried to buy on a Japanese import, and I ended up placing an order for it from a small independent games retailer in Manchester near Victoria Station, if anyone's from up north. And I was supposed to pay 60 quid, which I wouldn't pay for a game now. And I was a bit umming and ahhing about paying 60 quid back then when it first came out. But what tipped me over the edge was, on the day it was supposed to arrive, I got told it was on its way from Rochdale or Oldham or some twaddle like that. Then they put the price up to 80 quid, saying they'd had to pay extra import duties and all sorts of other garbage. And so it was up to 80 quid, and I was just about prepared to pay 80 quid for it because it was, you know, the game to play and etc, etc. But the thing that tipped me over the edge was he insisted that I needed a specific adapter to play it, and I was adamant that I just spent 15 quid on an adapter that was capable of playing an imported version of Starwing, which, for any Super Nintendo aficionados out there, will remember it was the first cartridge I remember that utilised the extra 2 sets of, I don't know what you call them, connectors, pins, whatever, inside the cartridge. Most of them only used the central long one that was about 8 centimetres long, but Starwing, because it actually needed to use a lot of information, was the first game that used them, so we all had to upgrade our adapters, and I just spent 15 quid on a new one that I knew for a fact to play Starwing because I'd seen the guy in the shop playing it before I actually took it on. And the guy wanted this comedian in Manchester wanted another 20 quid from me, so this guy wanted £100 to play a game. Now I did end up getting it from another independent game shop when it finally came out on an official release for 60 quid, but again, it's the only time I've ever paid £60 for a game. I wouldn't pay it now, and it's not even for a PlayStation 3 game. So anyway, just a little bit of a story there for you guys. So thank you for joining me on my review of Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I hope you get the chance to play it one day, whether you get it on your, you know, the PlayStation Network or Xbox Live, whatever, or you can find a Super Nintendo. I mean, virtually every console that's ever been in existence since the Super Nintendo's had a version of this, so you'll be able to get one somewhere. But anyway, take it easy guys, thanks for listening, and I'll catch up with you all later. Take care, bye.